Imagine waking up each day free of that nagging inner whisper that tells you you're not ready, you're not enough, or this isn't safe. Picture a life where hesitation has no place, where second guessing is replaced by decisive action, and every choice becomes a declaration of self-belief. In this version of life, fear does not own the narrative. Instead, you harness its energy and allow it to become a signal, not a stop sign, that you are on the edge of growth. This essay is your roadmap towards such transformation. We will explore how to understand fear's origins, how it can serve as a compass for stepping outside your comfort zone, and the daily practices that will help you reclaim control. Introduction: redefining your relationship with fear. Fear is a universal emotion, an instinctive reaction inherited from our ancestors. It once kept our forebears safe from danger. Today, however, that same instinct can become a disruptive force when it begins to dictate every decision we make. By transforming fear into a friendly challenge instead of a paralyzing foe, you open the door to a life of increased confidence, bold action, and meaningful achievement. Think back to moments when you hesitated because of an inner voice that cautioned, "You're not ready." Now, ask yourself, what if that voice was silenced? What if you could channel the energy behind fear to propel yourself forward instead of holding you back? Rather than treating fear as the enemy, consider it a natural signal, a reminder that you are touching the edges of the unknown where true progress is made. In the following sections, we'll dissect fear's nature, explore its biological and psychological roots, and then map out actionable steps to overcome it. This journey is not about eliminating fear entirely, because fear, in its pure form, is a survival mechanism. Instead, it is about ensuring that fear no longer becomes the dictator of your life. 2. The nature of fear, understanding its role in our lives. The biological blueprint. Fear is hardwired into our biology. The amygdala, a small, almond-shaped structure in the brain, triggers a cascade of physical responses when danger is perceived. This fight or flight reaction, which once kept our ancestors alive in the face of predators, now often activates in response to modern challenges such as public speaking, career changes, or personal risks. Recognizing that fear has its roots in our evolutionary past can help us depersonalize it. It is not a flaw in our character, but rather a survival mechanism that, when misapplied, holds us back. B. The psychological narrative. Over time, our minds have developed narratives around fear. These narratives are the stories we tell ourselves. Stories that say, "I'm not good enough, I'm bound to fail," or "What if I make a mistake?" Such self-reinforcing dialogues become so familiar that they begin to feel like unassailable truths. But like any story, they can be rewritten. Each time you challenge these internal narratives and push forward regardless, you change the script. The goal is not to eradicate fear completely, because doing so is both unrealistic and unnecessary, but to reframe how you relate to it so that it no longer prevents you from pursuing what matters most. 3. The illusion of safety, how fear limits growth. A. Trading growth for comfort. When fear dominates our decision-making, we often settle for a life of comfort over challenge. It's not that we are inherently weak. Rather, our minds have been conditioned to prioritize the familiar and avoid the discomfort of the unknown. In doing so, we sacrifice opportunities for growth. For instance, avoiding a promotion at work because of the fear of failure, or not pursuing a creative project because it might expose us to criticism, means trading potential success for momentary security. B. The paradox of inaction. Ironically, the pause that fear forces upon us isn't a sign of prudence, but a stagnation. Inaction becomes a safe harbor from potential failure, yet it is also the very thing that compounds regret. Every moment of hesitation is an opportunity missed, a door left unopened. The truth is, the internal narrative that warns against risk is designed not to protect us, but to keep us from venturing beyond the boundaries of our established comfort zone. C. The hidden cost of safety. Living a life ruled by fear means sacrificing progress for temporary comfort. The fear of the unknown may feel protective on the surface, but in reality, it robs you of experiences that could lead to profound personal growth and fulfillment. Every instance where you avoid taking a leap contributes to a cumulative loss, a wealth of untapped potential and unrealized dreams. Recognizing this hidden cost is the first step toward making a transformative change. 4. The empowerment in facing fear head-on. A. Movement versus inaction. The key insight here is that confidence isn't born from the absence of fear, but from the courage to act despite it. Each time you decide to step forward, whether in a business venture, a personal relationship, or a creative endeavor, you send a powerful message to your brain. I matter more than my fears. Repeated acts of defiance against inaction gradually rewire your neural pathways, reinforcing the idea that fear is not an invincible barrier. B. Embracing exposure as a catalyst for change. Imagine standing at the edge of a cold pool. You have two choices. You can test the water with a mere toe, or you can dive in fully. The moment you fully immerse yourself, the shock wears off and your body adapts. This is analogous to how our minds adapt to fear. The more you expose yourself to what terrifies you, the more you realize that the anticipated disaster rarely materializes. In fact, with each exposure, the power of fear diminishes because you build a tolerance for uncertainty and discomfort. C. Repetition as a transformative tool. Consider any new habit, whether learning a musical instrument, mastering a sport, or building a business. Initial attempts are often fraught with errors and awkwardness, yet through repetition, these actions eventually become second nature. The same holds true for confronting fear. Each small victory, whether it is making a difficult phone call or speaking up during a meeting, tells your brain that the intensity of fear is not proportional to the importance of the goal. Over time, these repeated actions contribute to a growing reservoir of courage and resilience. We, rewriting the inner narrative, mental conditioning and affirmations. A. Taking control of your inner monologue. The stories we repeat in our mind dictate our actions. If your inner dialogue is dominated by self-doubt and the constant reiteration of limitations, you are likely to let fear win. The process of rewriting this narrative begins with awareness. Challenge the automatic thoughts that suggest you are not ready, not enough, or destined to fail. Instead, replace them with more empowering statements. For instance, when fear whispers, "You can't do this," respond with, "I may be scared, but I have the strength to try." B. The science of visualization. The brain cannot easily distinguish between what it sees in real life and what it imagines vividly in the mind. Use this principle to your advantage by visualizing success. Imagine yourself confidently stepping forward, whether it's giving a presentation, asking for a raise, or pursuing a passion project. Visualize every detail, your calm demeanor, the supportive responses of others, and the inner peace that follows the act of overcoming fear. With consistent practice, these mental images begin to form a blueprint for success that your brain can follow. C. The power of affirmations. Daily affirmations serve as a form of mental training. They are not mere positive platitudes. They are declarations that reshape your neural circuitry over time. Repeat statements like, "I am resilient," "I am capable," "I face challenges with strength." These words, spoken with conviction, begin to dismantle the limiting beliefs that fear has built up. Over time, your subconscious internalizes these messages, and your actions begin to align with your new, empowered identity. 6. Building a lifestyle of courage, daily rituals and habits. A. Morning routines that set the tone. How you start your day can have a profound impact on your mindset. Begin with rituals that promote discipline and signal to your mind that today is the day you take action regardless of fear. This might include a cold shower, a brisk walk, or a session of mindful meditation. Each of these activities is a small victory, a routine battle won over fear's call for comfort and inertia. By consistently starting your day with deliberate actions, you build a foundation of resilience that lasts throughout the day. B. Physical movement as a metaphor for mental movement. A key way to disrupt the paralysis that fear can impose is to keep your body in motion. Physical exercise not only improves health, but also releases endorphins, which enhance your mood and sharpen your focus. Whether it's running, weightlifting, yoga, or even dancing around your living room, moving your body can serve as a powerful metaphor for how your mind should operate. When you physically push yourself, you also mentally signal that you are ready to confront challenges head-on. C. Embracing discomfort through micro-experiments. Integrate small acts of deliberate discomfort into your daily routine. For example, choose to have an honest conversation even when it feels risky, or try a new skill that leaves you feeling uncertain initially. These micro-experiments, these brief moments of stepping outside your comfort zone, act as rehearsal for bigger challenges. Over time, as you accumulate a series of small wins, you will find that the threshold of fear rises. The acts that once filled you with trepidation now become opportunities to celebrate your growth. D. Reflecting on your progress. At the end of each day, take time to assess where you encountered fear and how you handled it. Journal your experiences, noting the moments when you decided to move forward despite discomfort. Such reflection serves two purposes. It reinforces your progress by highlighting incremental successes, and it provides insights into areas where you can continue to improve. This daily practice of mindfulness ensures that every act of courage is acknowledged, no matter how small. 7. The ripple effects of embracing fear. A. Expanding professional horizons. When you liberate yourself from the tyranny of fear, the professional realm transforms dramatically. Imagine pitching an idea at work without fear of rejection, negotiating confidently for a raise, or even daring to start your own venture. Every professional risk becomes an opportunity for growth rather than a potential pitfall. As you build a reputation for decisive action, your colleagues, mentors, and clients begin to see you as a leader, a person whose focus is on creating value rather than on playing it safe. B. Enriching personal relationships. Fear can also be a silent barrier in our personal relationships. We may hesitate to speak up, avoid vulnerability, or postpone difficult conversations because we fear rejection or misunderstanding. But courage in relationships is about showing up authentically. By choosing to express your true feelings, even when they are accompanied by vulnerability, you pave the way for deeper, more meaningful connections. The courage to be honest and open fosters trust and empathy, laying the foundation for relationships that are robust enough to weather life's inevitable storms. C. Transforming your personal legacy. Perhaps the most profound impact of overcoming fear is the reshaping of your legacy. Consider the story you are writing with each decision. When fear guides your choices, you risk looking back at a life punctuated by what-ifs and regrets. Conversely, when you choose to move despite fear, you begin to craft a legacy defined by courage, authenticity, and bold action. Far from being a tale of reckless abandon, this legacy is one of disciplined triumph, where each challenge met head-on reinforces the truth that living fully means occasionally dancing with risk. 8. Embracing setbacks and learning through imperfection. A. Recognizing that setbacks are part of the journey. It is important to acknowledge that fear never disappears entirely. Even the most courageous individuals still feel the sting of uncertainty. However, what sets them apart is their willingness to confront setbacks head-on. When a plan falters or a risk does not pay off, these moments are not failures, but opportunities to learn. Each setback is a lesson etched into the fabric of your experience, a chance to recalibrate and refine your approach. Embracing imperfection means understanding that progress is not always linear. It is a winding path with twists, turns, and occasional detours that deepen your resilience. B. The power of resilience and self-compassion. Every time you face a setback, practice self-compassion. Instead of chastising yourself for not achieving perfection, recognize that each moment of vulnerability is a stepping stone towards growth. Resilience is built through repeated exposure to life's challenges. By embracing your imperfections, you empower yourself to learn and adapt, reinforcing the idea that even missteps contribute to a greater journey of self-improvement. Remember, true courage lies in the willingness to continue despite the fear of failure. C. Transforming criticism into constructive feedback. Facing fear means also accepting that criticism, internal and external, is part of the process. Learn to view criticism as constructive, a mirror that reflects areas where you can adjust, grow, and evolve. When feedback stings, try to extract the valuable insights hidden within and use that knowledge to fuel your next effort. In doing so, you transform the narrative around failure from one of defeat to one of opportunity, reinforcing your commitment to continuous improvement. 9. Nurturing support systems and finding guidance. The value of mentorship and community. No one is an island. While the journey to transform your relationship with fear is deeply personal, having a supportive network can make all the difference. Seek out mentors, role models, or peers who have faced similar challenges and emerged stronger. Their experiences provide valuable guidance, and their presence can remind you that you are not alone in your struggles. Whether through formal mentorship or an informal network of like-minded individuals, sharing your journey and listening to others can reinforce your resolve to push forward. B. Leveraging the strength of shared experiences. Communities built around growth, creativity, or entrepreneurship provide an environment where vulnerability is celebrated rather than shamed. Engage in discussion groups, attend workshops, or join online forums where you can share your successes and setbacks. In these communities, you will find that fear, though universally experienced, can be dismantled when confronted with collective courage. The solidarity in shared experiences not only diminishes the isolation that fear breeds, but also fuels a collective momentum toward personal and communal growth. C. Seeking professional guidance when needed. Sometimes, fear can become so overwhelming that professional guidance is necessary. Therapists, coaches, or counselors trained in cognitive behavioral techniques can help you work through entrenched fears and develop more positive habits of thought. There is strength in acknowledging when you need help, and taking that step is itself a courageous act. Professional support can be a crucial complement to self-discipline, providing you with tools and insights tailored to your unique challenges. X. Looking forward, creating a future unbound by fear. A. Setting audacious goals. Once you begin to rewire the patterns of fear that have held you captive, it becomes possible to set goals that seem daring and even audacious. Envision a future where your decisions are driven by vision and passion rather than hesitation. Outline your aspirations, whether they include advancing your career, starting a new venture, or building a legacy that truly reflects who you are. With each goal, remember that fear is not an insurmountable barrier, but a sign that you are reaching into new, unexplored territory. B. Embracing the journey, not just the destination. Keep in mind that the transformative process of overcoming fear is as significant as the goals you set. Enjoy the process of striving, learning, and growing. Celebrate small victories along the way, and recognize that the journey itself is a testament to your strength and commitment. Each step forward is more than just progress toward a goal. It is an affirmation that you are reclaiming the narrative of your life. C. Crafting a vision for a life of authenticity. Imagine a future where you wake up every day with a sense of purpose, unburdened by self-imposed limitations. A future where fear is merely a signal to redirect your focus, rather than a force that keeps you from pursuing your dreams. This vision is not built on blind optimism, but on a foundation of deliberate actions, daily rituals, consistent habits, and a commitment to self-improvement. As you take bold steps forward, the life you envision gradually takes shape, and what once seemed impossible becomes your new reality. 11. Practical steps for daily courage and discipline. To solidify the changes you seek, it is essential to integrate practical, actionable steps into your routine. Here are some concrete strategies to help you build resilience and discipline. Morning rituals. Begin each day with a simple yet challenging activity, a cold shower, a brisk walk, or a few minutes of meditation. These rituals prepare your mind for the day ahead by setting a tone of commitment and purpose. Recite a set of personalized affirmations designed to reinforce your self-worth and readiness to tackle challenges. Physical movement. Schedule regular exercise, not just for physical health, but as a mental discipline. Whether it is a high-intensity workout, yoga, or a brisk stroll in nature, moving your body catalyzes the release of endorphins and creates a sense of momentum that propels you forward. Incorporate small bouts of movement into your work or daily routine, such as taking frequent breaks to stretch or walk. Exposure exercises. Identify one fear-inducing situation each day and face it head-on. It might be initiating a conversation you've been avoiding or volunteering for a challenging task. Reflect afterward on what you learned from the experience, noting how the intensity of your fear diminished over time with repeated exposure. Journaling and reflection. Maintain a daily journal to track your victories and the lessons gleaned from setbacks. Writing about your experiences helps consolidate your learning and reinforces your commitment to growth. At the end of each week, review your entries and identify patterns where you successfully overcame fear. Celebrate these milestones and set new challenges accordingly. Mindfulness and meditation. Practice mindfulness techniques to remain present and to observe your thoughts without judgment. This helps you recognize when fear starts to influence your decisions and allows you to counteract it with rational perspective. Incorporate guided meditations that focus on releasing anxiety and building mental clarity. Networking and sharing. Engage with a supportive community that challenges you to be your best self. Share your experiences with peers and, in turn, draw inspiration from their journeys. Attend workshops or seminars focused on personal development and overcoming fear. The act of learning and interacting with others reinforces your commitment to growth. Celebrating failures as growth opportunities. Redefine your understanding of failure by viewing setbacks as vital feedback rather than as final judgments of your worth. Develop a mindset that sees each challenge as an opportunity to improve your strategies and to build the mental resilience necessary for future successes. 12. The transformative impact. How a life beyond fear unfolds. When you consistently choose to challenge fear, the changes in your life are often far-reaching. Increased creativity and innovation. Fear can stifle the creative spirit. By dismantling the mental walls built by fear, you open yourself up to innovative solutions and fresh ideas. Whether in your personal projects or professional endeavors, removing fear's constraints can lead to breakthroughs that would otherwise remain hidden. Deepen self-trust and autonomy. Overcoming fear shifts your internal dialogue from one of self-doubt to one of self-affirmation. As you repeatedly move forward despite uncertainty, you build a reservoir of self-trust. In time, this trust becomes the cornerstone of your decisions, making you less reliant on the approval of others. Expanded opportunities and new horizons. Every risk taken and every challenge faced unlocks doors that were once sealed shut by fear. Whether it's a new career path, a personal relationship, or a creative pursuit, stepping into the unknown enriches your experiences and multiplies your opportunities for growth. Stronger relationships and leadership qualities. People are naturally drawn to those who are unafraid to take risks and to lead by example. When you choose courage over comfort, you not only inspire others, but also deepen your connections. The authenticity that comes from embracing vulnerability resonates with those around you. A legacy defined by action. Ultimately, the way you confront fear shapes the legacy you leave behind. A life marked by bold actions, resilience, and unyielding determination is far more impactful than one defined by the comfort of safe choices. Each courageous act is a stroke on the canvas of your life's masterpiece. A masterpiece that reflects the truth of your potential. 13. Embracing a future of freedom and purpose. In the final analysis, the battle with fear is not about erasing the emotion from your life, it is about disempowering it. When you stop granting fear the authority to define your future, you reclaim the narrative of your life. Each moment that you act with courage becomes a stepping stone toward a future unburdened by the weight of hesitation. Visualize a day when decisions come without the internal tug-of-war between caution and desire. That day isn't a fantasy, it is a reality waiting to be crafted by each bold action you take. Whether you are launching a new project, mending a difficult relationship, or simply daring to dream beyond what you once thought possible, remember that fear is merely the signal of new territory. Embrace it, interrogate it, and then move forward with deliberate purpose. Your future is not predetermined by the fear of failure. It is designed by the choices you make when you decide that nothing is more important than the mission, the vision, or the dreams you hold. When fear appears on the horizon, let it remind you that you are approaching an opportunity for transformation, not a setback to hide from. Remember that courage is not a trait you either possess or lack. It is a muscle you can strengthen through consistent, mindful action. Every time you push past the boundaries of what feels safe, you build not just your own resilience, but also the foundation for inspiring others. The process of transforming fear into fuel creates a ripple effect. Your determination can spark change in your community, in your workplace, and in the lives of those who witness your journey. 14. Final thoughts and the ongoing journey of growth. As you embark on this journey of transforming fear into purpose, embrace the idea that growth is a continuous process. Life will always present challenges and uncertainties, but armed with the knowledge and strategies to confront fear, you can face them with determination and optimism. Every setback is an invitation to rise stronger. Every moment of doubt is an opportunity to rewrite your inner narrative. And every courageous step is a testament to the power of discipline. Visualize this transformation as a long, winding road where each mile builds on the last. There will be days when fear whispers its familiar doubts, urging you to retreat into the comfort of inaction. Yet those very days become the milestones where you prove to yourself that you are capable of more. Over time, you will look back and realize that fear was never a permanent state. It was simply a phase that taught you what you were capable of overcoming. To sum it up, your life is not defined by the moments you let fear control the narrative. It is defined by the moments you stood up, challenged the impossible, and chose action over comfort. This essay has reimagined and expanded upon the ideas of living fearlessly, transforming the internal dialogue of self-doubt into a force for unstoppable progress. It is a call to action for every soul that has ever felt paralyzed by fear to replace hesitation with determination, regret with purpose, and inactivity with vibrant, courageous existence. By embracing the techniques and reflections shared here, from understanding the primal roots of fear through the power of deliberate exposure and daily rituals, to the importance of forging supportive networks, you are equipped to dismantle the barriers fear builds and to live a life marked by bold decisions and relentless personal growth. Your legacy, your career, your relationships, and ultimately, your identity are all waiting on the other side of fear. No longer must you let an internal whisper dictate your potential. Instead, choose to celebrate the discomfort of growth, to honor the lessons learned in moments of vulnerability, and to step continuously toward a future where fear is but a fleeting signal on your path to greatness. Step into each day with the awareness that discipline is your true ally, and that every intentional act of courage contributes to crafting a life of authenticity, resilience, and unyielding ambition. The journey is challenging, but it is also profoundly liberating. Because when you decide that fear no longer has the power to dictate your choices, you become the architect of your destiny. May these words serve as a roadmap and a reminder. You are not your fears. You are the author of your own story. And every decision to act boldly, every moment of vulnerability embraced, and every risk taken in the name of growth propels you ever closer to a life truly worth living. The day to reclaim your power is now. Embrace the discomfort, harness the energy of your deepest fears, and transform them into the fuel that propels you toward a future defined by purpose, passion, and endless possibility. This is your invitation to a new chapter, one where fear is recognized for what it is, a signal that you are about to venture into uncharted territory, where every step taken in defiance of hesitation brings you closer to the person you were always meant to be. Let today be the day that you silence the voice of fear and amplify the voice of action, conviction, and unwavering determination. Remember, every courageous journey starts with a single step forward. And with each step, you not only reshape your destiny, but also light a path for others to follow. Today, choose to be fearless. Today, decide that nothing, not fear, doubt, or any other obstacle will stand in the way of your dreams. Your future awaits, bold, unshackled, and utterly magnificent.